January 2025 began just as it always did for many Americans. Cold, gray skies, the remnants of holiday decorations slowly coming down, and bills flooding mailboxes with reminders of the post-holiday financial hangover. With the recent rise in living expenses, countless families had barely managed to make ends meet through the holiday season. They were now staring down the barrel of another long winter, where heating bills could soar, food prices continued to rise, and it seemed like the weight of the world was on their shoulders. But just as the January chill began to set in, a glimmer of hope appeared, something that many could not have anticipated. The news broke that up to $5,300 was about to land in the bank accounts of thousands of eligible Americans. At first, many thought it was another one of those far-fetched rumors that surfaced every year around tax season. But this time, it was real. The government, recognizing that so many families were struggling, especially with the aftermath of the holidays, had crafted a series of new federal and state financial relief programs, and this payment was at the heart of it all. It wasn't just a quick stimulus payment. It was a combination of various financial aids designed to get people back on their feet. And as the reality of this news began to sink in, the excitement started to grow. For many, this wasn't just money. It was a chance to recover, a safety net during tough times. But like any great story, there was more to it than simply receiving a check. There were rules to follow, deadlines to meet, and certain steps to take. This wasn't just about waiting for money to arrive. It was about ensuring that you qualified and took the necessary actions to receive what you were owed. It all started with an announcement that set the nation abuzz. Thousands of Americans could qualify for a payment of up to $5,300 by January 2025. As the news spread across social media, news outlets, and word of mouth, people rushed to search for more details. Could this really be true? For months, rumors had circulated that more relief was on the way, but most of those had turned out to be false. And yet, this was different. Government officials began to confirm that this wasn't just a temporary measure or a quick fix. It was part of a broader effort to provide lasting financial relief for struggling households. The announcement made it clear that this wasn't simply about addressing the financial fallout of the holidays. This payment was part of a much larger, more comprehensive set of financial programs designed to offer relief during the entire winter season, a time when many families faced increased expenses. Utility bills spiked, heating costs soared, and for many, the winter months meant even tighter budgets. And then came the twist. This wasn't just about paying off bills or catching up on debt. It was a chance for families to save, a chance to invest in their futures, a chance to break free from the cycle of financial instability. But that opportunity wouldn't be accessible to everyone. To get this lifeline, you had to know exactly what the government was offering and what you needed to do to claim your portion. The stakes were high, and for those who didn't act fast enough, it could mean missing out entirely. As January 2025 drew closer, more details about the payment began to emerge. This wasn't some simple one-time stimulus payment like the ones seen in past years. Instead, this relief came from several different programs and initiatives that had either been expanded or newly implemented to reflect the unique financial challenges facing households across the country. The largest portion of the $5,300 payment came from enhanced tax credits, specifically the child tax credit, which had been adjusted to account for rising inflation and increased living costs. Families with children under 17 would be in line to receive a significant portion of the relief, with additional bonuses for children under 6. It wasn't just about income. This was a payment meant to relieve the financial burdens of parenthood and to support families in their most difficult moments. But here's where the plot thickened. While this payment was targeted to families with children, it was not just for parents. In fact, one of the most important features of this new relief program was how it reached far beyond just wage earners. Retirees, Social Security recipients, and even students were eligible to receive a portion of the funds. The government had broadened the eligibility criteria significantly. Unlike previous stimulus payments, this program had more flexible guidelines. For example, Single filers who earned up to $75,000 and joint filers who earned up to $150,000 could qualify for the full amount. This meant that even middle-class families who didn't fit the typical low-income mold could still find relief. Moreover, there was a gradual phase-out period for those who earned above these thresholds, meaning that many Americans who didn't earn poverty-level wages could still qualify for a partial payment. But the twist didn't stop there. The government wasn't just offering direct payments to those who qualified. They were automatically distributing funds to people who had filed taxes in recent years and whose financial information was up to date in government systems. For most, the check or direct deposit would arrive without them having to lift a finger. For others, however, things weren't so straightforward. What if you hadn't filed taxes recently? Or what if you had a new address or a new bank account? Would you be left behind? Fortunately, there was a solution, a simplified process to claim the payment for those who didn't file taxes or whose information had changed. But the catch was that people needed to act quickly to ensure their claim was processed on time. It was also critical to update your information with the relevant government agencies. In fact, doing so was the key to receiving your payment without delays. Failing to update your banking details or address could lead to serious delays, and for some, missing out entirely. With the clock ticking, it was clear. Those who were proactive would be the ones who reaped the full benefits. The deadline for claims loomed, and Americans across the country scrambled to confirm their eligibility and get their information in order. As the bulk of payments began to hit bank accounts in waves, the frustration and excitement among the nation grew. Some received their payments promptly, but for others, the wait stretched on and the uncertainty grew. What if something went wrong? What if the payment didn't arrive when expected? It was a stressful time for many, but the process was streamlined enough that most people would receive their payment automatically. However, as always, scammers lurked in the shadows, trying to take advantage of people's fear and confusion. Fake websites, fraudulent phone calls, and suspicious emails promised to help recipients speed up their payments if they just provided their banking information. That's when the twist came. People needed to stay vigilant, protect their personal data, and never fall for scams. The official message from the government was clear. No legitimate agency would ask for your banking information over the phone or by email. The importance of staying informed and safe was highlighted repeatedly. Watching verified sources for updates was crucial to protecting your money. The distribution continued, and just as people thought the financial relief had reached its peak, the surprise came. Certain states were offering supplemental payments on top of the federal relief. States with their own budget surpluses were offering extra assistance to their residents. Some states included additional funds for people with children, others for low-income residents, and some for specific groups like veterans or disabled individuals. After the dust settled, most recipients had received their payments. For many, this was the lifeline they had needed. Some used the money to catch up on overdue bills, while others invested in their future, setting up savings accounts or starting emergency funds. But one thing was clear: the timing of the payment had made a real difference. Many families who otherwise would have been struggling were now in a better position to take on the rest of the year with greater confidence. However, there were still questions to answer. What if your payment didn't arrive on time? What if you were still waiting for your direct deposit or check to arrive? Government channels were in place to help, but the most important thing was to stay patient and proactive. Payments were sent out in waves, and it was important not to panic. As the year continued, many Americans found themselves in a better financial position than they had been in years. The $5,300 payment wasn't just a simple check. It represented hope for families struggling to make it through the winter. And the lesson from all of this? Stay informed. Know when and how to take action. Always keep your information up to date and be vigilant against fraud. Most importantly, make sure to keep following the latest updates and financial tips, because you never know when the next big opportunity will come your way. If you're not already subscribed to this channel, Now is the time to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future updates. There's always something new to learn, and the world of financial relief is constantly changing. Stay tuned for more videos packed with the latest financial news, strategies, and opportunities that could make a real difference in your life. Together, we'll navigate the twists and turns of these financial journeys. You won't want to miss out, so stay informed, stay proactive, and stay with us. After all, the next financial windfall could be just around the corner.